So today's focus specifically for the agentic process automation, right? And what is the purpose of agentic process automation, or it's called as a APA also, right? What is the importance of it? Where to use? How to use? Right? Along with that, I will show you a demo as well, along with your questions and answer. Right? So this will be the agenda for today's demo. Okay, and request everyone, please feel free to ask as many as questions whatever you have, right? It will help everyone including me. Okay, so first of all, right, we'll talk about the agent. Okay, so what do you mean by agent, right? So agent means, right, those can work which is very similar to the humans. Okay, so if you talk about traditional RPA, right? So what was happening into the traditional RPA? We are creating some automations, right, where we don't require to take any kind of decisions. Okay, where we are not routing the flow based on the requirement, right? So there was not any major runtime decisions was happening, right? At the same time, it like your bots, right? It is called as the bots in RPA basically, right? They don't have that capability, right, to take its own decision, right? But now, due to this AI, right, we can say cognitive AI, chain AI, right, along with all AI ML capabilities, right? So agents came into the picture. Okay, so what benefits organizations are getting due to this agent, right? We will talk along with few more things. We'll go to the next slide, right? Here we can see specifically we'll talk about the Microsoft platform. Okay, so Microsoft is one of the service provider in like RPA intelligent automation space, including Gen AI and all these capabilities, right? And within this tool, right, along with traditional RPA, right, we can integrate any kind of components or third party connectors, including the Microsoft connectors. Okay, so Microsoft having its own capabilities in terms of AI agents, right? So where we can integrate Copilot, we can integrate the Studio, right, Copilot Studio, so that we can integrate all these what we can say agentic capabilities along with our RPA flow. Okay, and here we are having various components like a builder, a agent, right? And along with that, it having the GPT capabilities as well. Okay, and we already talk about like what is agentic automation, right? So agentic automation, if you use, right, it will use its own logic or it will take own decision during the run times, right? So I don't want to go that much deeper into the theory, right? Because if you discuss practically, that will be more impactful, right? And we'll have more questions rather than the theoretical things, right? So what are the benefits we are getting? So we already discussed about it, right? So obviously it will remove the manual intervention, right? Not 100%, but at a good amount of extent it can include. And suppose if any of the agent, right, is doubtful for performing any kind of actions, right, then what we can do, we can route it for the human intervention. Okay, so instead of doing 100% end-to-end automation, if you are able to achieve around like 80% or 90%, right, that will be a good achievement, right, from the automation point of view. Okay, and we can use these agentic things, right, in any domain, right? There is nothing like domain specific. So whatever the domains are available into the market, right, like banking, finance, insurance, healthcare, hospitality, then petroleum, oil and gas, right, electrical, electronics, mechanical, all the industries they can use it, right, without any hesitance. Okay, so this is one of the factors, right? I want to focus basically today, right? Is agentic automation will be your next career accelerator? Definitely, okay. Because if you see, nowadays, right, along with the traditional RPA, right, every organization they want to use the agentic, right, and you can see that's the reason, right, everyone is running behind it and they want to implement it. Okay, but we can see this is just very initial phase. Okay, initial phase of this agentic, right. So it's always advantage, right, to anyone who want to shift into this particular phase, right, they can start learning things early so that they can go in this phase in early life cycle. Okay, so when we are moving to the early life cycle, there are advantages like we can get time to learn, right, we can get some supports, right. So it's always better we can kickstart our journey right in the earlier phase of any technology. Okay, now we can go and see the live demo along with the Q&A sessions, right? So before moving to the demo, any question or any other point anyone to bring it? All good?
I have one question. Like
Yes,
to
please.
run that agnetic automation, it's mandatory to have experience in RPA.
Okay, yeah, very good question, right? So yes. So agentic process automation is about basically right. It will give the edge to the your RPA skills. Okay, I'm just talking about RPA point of view. Okay, but in the AI space also or in the data space, right? There are some agents. Okay, everywhere we can in all the technologies we can implement the agents. That's not a problem. But here we are just talking about the automation. Okay, process automation we can say, right. So it's necessary we can have the experience or knowledge into the process automation, and if you don't have, then you should learn process automation along with the agentic one. All right, so let me go to the demo, right. So first I will explain you the use case. Okay, I will explain you the use case which is I'm going to explain in this particular demo, right. Then what I will do, I will run and show you how it is working, and after that I will show you the demo as well how to implement it. Okay, so there are various ways to implement it, there are various scenarios are there, right. But as a part of this demo I will take one use case in today's day. Okay, so now I will explain thoroughly like what is our use case for the tool. Okay, suppose if there is a bank. Okay, right, maybe it can be a investment banking, right, or forget about investment banking, it can be a retail banking or it can be a credit card organization. Okay, and they are having customers, right, across the globe or maybe at particular region, right, and there is a customer support department. Okay, where they are handling the customer queries. Okay, 24 by 7 365 days across the this year, or right. So they are facing a lot of challenges. Okay, to handle these customer communications. Okay, and most of the customer communications, right, uh, can happen, right, or happening through the email, right. Obviously they will have their own systems along with call centers and all, right, but most commonly is like email communication. Okay, and it's available 24 by 7 365 days, right. So no need to wait for any call facility or something during only daytime, right. Right, so here we will talk about the email communication, right. So here I will take one example. Okay, so let me open the notepad if required, right. So what is happening, suppose if there is an organization and they are having a dedicated email group, right, where customers are sending their communications. Okay, so when the customers are doing the communication, right, so on a broader way. Okay, we can divide it like they are doing most of the communication for three category. Okay, so first category we can say like customer lost their card. Okay, customer lost their card due to any reason. Okay, and now they want to block their cards or they want a new card, right? So what organization has to do based on the customer request, right? Customer support person has to go through that email, right? Once they are going through the email, they want to understand the category or intent, like what the customer want to say, right? And based on that they will go to this financial systems, okay, and they will take some necessary actions, okay. So here we can divide our email communication into three main category, is like the card can be lost and stolen and customer want a new card replacement, right? Second category we can say late fees, okay. So if there is a credit card organization and someone is paying their we can say statements amount, right, maybe delayed after the due date, right? So customer has to pay some late fees, right? Or there are a lot of other things also involved, right? And third category will be account closure, okay. So customer want to close the account, right, due to any reason, right? We will not get into that, right? So basically we have to divide these email communications into three categories, okay. First one is lost and stolen along with new card replacement, then late fees, and third one will be account closure, okay. So and it might happen there are other communication also, but our main target is for this three category, okay. So here what we want to do, we want to establish a process, right, where agents, okay, agents can get the intent of the email communication, right? Based on that intent, right, what it will do, it will give the result, right? And after that we can say RPA process can get triggered. Okay, once that process is triggered, right, it will do the respective action. Okay, for example, for late fee we have to take different action. For account closure we have to take different action, right? And for lost and stolen and new card replacement we have to take some different actions, right? But here we need a agent basically to understand the intent of email communication, and then it can call any other processes, okay, which is required based on the communication, okay. So this will be our problem statement, right? And here I will show you into two different ways where we can add human in the loop, and other one is without human in the loop, okay. So everyone understood the problem statement? Here I have defined some sample emails, okay, based on the category, right? This is related to the late fees, this is related to the account closure, right? And this is related to the lost and stolen, right? And just want to clarify one thing, okay? Normally what happen into the legacy systems, right, we have to provide a good amount of input data, right? And based on that, right, it will understand the intent and all, but here that's not the case, okay. Obviously we have to train it, right, but what will happen, right, your agents will learn by its own, okay. Suppose if I train my model with some set of data, next time if another email is coming, okay, with a different structure, different verbiage, right, then it will learn by its own, okay. Also we can add already available AI capabilities as well, so that will show you, right. So suppose this is the email which receiving into the inbox, okay. So what I will do, right, so this is the mail, okay. I will go here, right, and here I will give my email ID, okay. So dot in, and here like I will mention, my god, okay, let me check one thing. What is this subject I have given? And by the way, this is a Power Automate, okay. So Power Automate is a platform from the Microsoft, okay. Okay, so this is credit card, and this is, just a second, I'm just checking one thing so that there will be no confusion, okay. Fine. So see why I'm giving this particular subject, right? Otherwise, process will trigger each and every time whenever we'll have any kind of people, right? So that's the reason I'm giving specific subject, but that is not the mandate requirement. Okay. So now I'm going to send this email, right? I send this email. As soon as this email arrives, right, you can see I have received this email, right? My process will get triggered automatically. Okay. So this is the process basically. Sorry, this is the process. And here you can see, right, the run for that particular process. It will show you the history. Okay. So let me go back, and it can take some time, right? So you can see, right, I got this email. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I want to run this email position. Okay, sorry, I want to use this email. Okay, sorry about that. Automate.co.in. Okay, and maybe I have given this as a credit card, right? And let me send this email. Okay, send this. Okay, so I have received the email, right? As soon as email is received, my process will get triggered. Let me refresh it. Okay. Okay, so you can see my process is running, right? Now I will go to that process. So you can see, right, I have received the email, right? Then I have the prompt created where it will identify that category, right? And now it is waiting for approval. Okay, it's waiting for human approval, right? So human approval we can send via email, or it can be available on the your Power Platform also. Okay, so you can see I have received this email basically, right, where it will show the user input, right? This is the user input, and this is the category. Okay, so it will show you, right, the intent of the input can be categorized as a lost and stolen. Okay, and it will show its analysis. What analysis? The customer is reporting a lost and stolen credit card and requesting immediate action to block the card and issue a replacement. Okay, so it will give some detail as well along with analysis, right? So either we can approve from here, okay, or reject from here, right? So why there are two options? It might happen whatever the category, right, it has identified, or intent it has identified, it can be a wrong, for example, right? It can be account closure, but it is taking lost and stolen. So in that case, right, we can reject it, okay, with particular reason. And as I said, into the Power Platform, right? Let me refresh. Here also we have the same facility. Okay, so you can see I'm going here. So I have received this user input, right? Email body, right? And now here I am having approve or reject option, or I can reassign to another associate as well in case I am not able to understand. So I will say approve, and after that will mention as a approved, right? So once this intent has been finalized, right, what should happen, right? It should perform some another flow, or it should call the respective flow, right, by the agent. Okay, so now you can see this is the email I have received. Okay, where it is explaining this is my input text, this is the detected category. Okay, and this is the approval response. Okay, so this I have shown with human in the loop. Okay, so this is with the human in the loop, but I have created another flow with the help of Copilot Studio, right, where human in the loop is not required, or we can eliminate human in the loop, right? So that also I will show you. So suppose I will send one more email, right? So my card dot in. Okay, and maybe I will give some different category, right? For example, I can give the late fee. Okay, so just Control C, Send. Okay, so I send email. So as soon as email has arrived, right, the bot will get triggered, right? So this will be the agent, right? It will identify it, and at the same time it will send the email also. Okay, so let me go to this particular flow. Sorry. Hmm. Right? So you can see it ran right just 30 seconds ago, right? It read the email body. After that, it identified the intent and it performed the some necessary action. Okay, so you can see now I got this detected category. Okay, so you can see the detected category for your email query is late fee. Okay, see it is doing the late fee. Similar way, right? If I go and if I give some other thing, right? For example, related to the account closure, right? So let me send the email for account closure. Okay, my card, and here I will give you my email ID. Okay, send, right? Here it should identify the intent or category as a account closure. Okay, so let's run the flow. So where is our flow? Let me refresh. Okay, so it's running. Okay, and you can see it succeeded. Okay, it succeeded, and I got the email right where it is saying the detected category for you your email request is account closure. Okay, so you can see here the agent can identify the intent, and after that it can take some necessary action. Okay, based on the category, right? Now I will go ahead and show you how to build this particular uh, problem statement. Okay, but so far any question, maybe I can take a pause, and if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Any question before moving ahead? Okay, no worries. So now we'll go and we'll see how to build this particular solution. Okay, so this is Copilot Studio from Microsoft Power Automate, right? So here we have to go and just click on the new agent, okay? And these are some templates are already available, but we'll go with the new agent, okay? So I just click on the new agent, okay? And here we have to give our prompt, basically, like what do you want to do, okay? Because if we are not giving out prompt properly, right, then may happen it will not work appropriately, okay? And it is not the case like it will create your whole agent, right? We have to do a lot of other things as well along with this, right? So here I can go and just mention analyze the entire email body, right, of incoming emails, right, incoming emails, then understand the user intent, okay, and understand the user intent, right? So you can see I have given analyze the entire email body of incoming email, understand the user intent, right, and categorize, categorize categorize the email into three categories, okay? And what are those three categories, right? I can mention account closure, right? Then late fees, then we can mention lost and stolen, basically. Okay, understood, right? So this is the prompt I'm going to give you, right? So I just click on the this particular thing, okay? After that it can ask some questions, right? and not necessarily we have to give the response, right? So now you can see as soon as I give this prompt, okay, into the Copilot Studio, can you see on the right hand side, okay, right, it has mentioned as an email categorizer, right? And you have just given this particular prompt, okay? Can you see how it has written these steps effectively, right? What it is mentioned: analyze the entire email body of incoming email, understand the user intent, right? Categorize into these steps, right? See, all those things have given it proper, right? Now what it is asking? Great. The agent is now called as an email categorizer. Okay. Let's refine the instruction further, right? How should the agent handle the email doesn't clearly fall in one of these three categories? For example, should it flag them for manual review? Can you see? Or take some other action? Right? So you can see it is asking this question. Okay, but suppose I don't want to respond all those things, right? Simply I can go ahead, right? And we can start building our agent. Okay, let's refine the instruction. How should you want to handle the emails that does not clearly fall into one of these categories, right? For example, it should flag them. Okay, so I will say yes, flag it if it's not fallen under any of the category mentioned above. Okay, so why I'm mentioning this, so that in case it is not falling under this category, it will flag for the manual review, for example. Okay, so yes, flag it, right, mentioned above. So I have given this. Okay, so you can see based on it, right, it will find out. Okay, the agent is now set up to analyze incoming emails under the user intent, right? Would you like to add publicly accessible data? This is optional. Okay, so I don't know why it's not giving the option to create it, right? Okay, change the name of the agent to, because this name is already exist. Okay, that might be the reason it's not giving, right? Email category as one. Okay, and create a agent. Okay, and give this particular prompt, right? So you can see now this create button is available here, right? So just click on the create. So I just click on the create. So what it is showing, setting up your agent. Okay, so it is doing all the background setup for your particular agent. Okay, so once it's ready, it will be available here. Okay, but that is not a final thing, right? We have to mold it as per our requirement. Okay, so you can see, right, this is our description, this is the general instructions along with this topic, knowledge, actions and triggers. Okay, so this will be common always, right? So what is important? Knowledge. Okay, what do you mean by knowledge? So as I said, if you want to create anything in terms of AI or ML model, right, we have to provide some input data. Okay, right? So you can see here I have having this sample data. Okay, I'm having this particular sample data, right, where I'm providing this description along with the category, right? So this is for reference purpose. Okay, just training it, and you can see I'm just giving around 50 to 51 records, right? And you can see whatever the previous agents I have shown you, right, that also I built with the same set of data, right? But you can see this is totally different. Okay, this is totally different, but still it was able to understand. Okay, so what we have to do, right, we have to call as a add knowledge. So I just clicked on the knowledge, and we can add this knowledge from the database, SharePoint, or various resources, right? So here I will just upload it through the Excel file, right? So just click on the upload file. Okay, I just uploaded. Okay, right, this is the file, and here I can give the file description. Okay, so here I will mention this knowledge source, right, as description and and the related category. Okay, so we can give this description, right, and click on the add. So here what we did, we have provided some input set of data for reference purpose. Okay, and now it is uploading this particular file, and once it is done, right, we can close this particular windows, right? So it won't take much time, but at the end it is available on the cloud, right? So it can take its own significant amount of time basically. Okay, so let it load. Once we upload it, right, we have to mention what action we have to provide when we, and at the same time we have to mention when we have to provide data action, right, or when we have to take that particular action. That also we have to define, right? That also we will define. So you can see we have added this knowledge base. Okay, after that it will asking allow the AI to use its own general knowledge, right? Why this is important? So suppose here we have given only this set of data. Okay, but there are other scenarios are may available, right, or obviously it will be available. So in that case, if you enable it, right, so it will use its own uh, LLM model which are already developed. Okay, so make it enable, right? Now the next thing, what action we have to perform? Okay, so I can say I want to send an email, okay, with the respective category, right? So here I can mention add action. Okay, I just click on add action, and here I can mention send an email. Okay, send an email. Okay, so you can see here Outlook action send an email, right? I have given selected this send an email. Okay, oh, it's not moving. Hmm. Now it will move. So now here it is saying configure your actions. Okay, right? So now here we have connection, right? Then click on the next. So name. So basically this is the name of your this action, right? So here I will mention send an email, right? And here I will mention as a category. Okay, description. Description for the agent to when to use this action. Can you see, right? So here we are providing when the action should taken up by the our agent. Okay, so I will mention uh, right, once, right, email category is identified, right, send an email, right, with the category, right, with the category, so that it will follow this instruction and accordingly it will perform the action. And here, as I said, we are using Copilot, right? So we have to use this Copilot authentication. Okay, now if you go here in the input, right, you can see if I click on the input, right, this two and all information, right, I did not given anything, right? So what it will do, if you want to give some specific thing, we can give it. Otherwise, dynamically it will fetch this particular information. Okay, right? So this is about send email. So same way, subject, right, it will automatically or dynamically find the best subject, right, and along with the body. Okay, so you can see even I did not provided the body, right, but dynamically it will right, craft your email body, right, and it will send the email. Correct. Now we are done, and just click on the add action. So we have added this action, right? And we have mentioned when we have to take this action, right? That also we have to define, right? Now we have to define last thing, right? Like when we have to define this particular action, okay? So it will be a trigger, correct? So here I can mention add trigger. So when we have to trigger this process, when email arrives, right? When any email is arriving with particular condition, so you can see when a new email arrives. So I have selected next, okay? So it will be a trigger point for your process, right? So now we are going to define a trigger. What trigger we are going to provide when the new email arrives, right? Then next, here we can provide the folder from your email, right? It can be an inbox or it can be any particular folder, and you can see if you want to give any filter criteria, like I want to read only this particular emails having to CC, BCC, subject, or anything, right? That we can define here, right? And just click on the create trigger. Okay, so now I just click on the create trigger. So now your trigger will get set up, okay? And based on that trigger your process will get what we can say added into the copilot. Okay, so now it is adding the trigger basically. Okay, right, it is saying time to test your trigger, right? It means it has set up the trigger, right? And now here you can see test your agent. Okay, so testing is very integral part of any software development. Okay, so we have to test like how it is working, right? So what I can do, I can just go here, okay, this, and I can provide here, okay, for example this as a input, right? And just click on this button. So now what it will do, based on its knowledge base and right and all other AI things, right, it will try to understand and it will find the intent. Okay, so you can see, right, lost and stolen. And here we can obviously configure this email body and all the things, right? So it is identifying it's from lost and stolen, right? So now you can see our agent is working perfectly, right? So once our agent has created, right, what we have to do, we have to click on the publish. Okay, so once it's published, right, then it will get configured. Okay, and as soon as it's configured, right, whenever the particular condition arrives, right, it will trigger the process and it will perform the necessary actions. Okay, so this is about from the demo point of view. So any question, any doubt, I will be happy to take the questions. And if you go here, right, activity, so whenever you will publish it or whatever action or modifications will do, right, in your agent, right, it will track all the versioning basically. Okay, so any discussion point? So all good.